Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2014 Class 1A Illinois High School State Association Wrestling Championships. We're coming to you tonight from the State Farm Center in Champaign-Urbana on the campus of the University of Illinois. Mike Vest with you, as well as my broadcast partner for the evening, Thad Book. Thad, we're going to crown 14 state champs tonight. It's going to be one heck of a night.
There's all kinds of stories that'll take place tonight. I'm really excited to watch the wrestling that's going to happen. Of course, Josh Albert goes for his 4th straight state championship. He goes for an opportunity to stay undefeated his entire high school career, trying to be the first person in Illinois history to do that. And of course, he's not the only Dakota wrestler in the finals. There's 6 other guys in the finals, and there's so many guys that are looking to finish off a dominant season tonight.
It's going to be a great night of wrestling, folks. I hope you stick around. We are starting at 195 pounds tonight, and we'll go from there up through the weight classes, and we'll crown 14 of them. So stay with us tonight, folks. Here we go.
This isn't a game. There's no playbook. This is a battle.
Here we are, the 195-pound weight class match. We have Derek Maisonette of Plano going up against Terry White of Riverdale. Both seniors for their schools with no score here, about 13 seconds into the match. Thanks for joining us this evening here for the 2014 Class 1A IHSA State Wrestling Championships. We're at the State Farm Center, located on the University of Illinois campus in Champaign, Illinois. No score here. We're 30 seconds into the first period. The first match of the night. We are starting at 195 pounds. Wrestlers are going to go out of bounds. Bring it back to the center. Mike Vest with you, as well as Thad Book. Thad, good evening.
Good evening, Mike. Good to be here. We get underway with a couple of undefeated wrestlers. Terry White of Riverdale comes in 27-0. Derek Maisonette of Plano comes in 48-0. Maisonette, state champion a year ago at 220 pounds.
Wrestling here on the edge of the mat. No score. 50 seconds left to go in the first period. Riverdale in the black singlet with the gold trim. Maisonette of Plano in the black singlet with purple trim. Like their singlets, they have their names on the side of them. Maisonette drops down on a single leg, brings it back up to his feet. Has it of White, seeing what he's going to do with it here. He's got 25 seconds left to go. Trying for an inside trip. And he takes him down. He gets to 2 points with 20 seconds left to go. And they'll go out of bounds.
Wonderful job by Maisonette, right in the middle of the mat. Able to get a single leg, finish it before they go out of bounds. Good start for him in this match. 2-0 lead. 18 seconds to go in the first period as they get restarted.
And the winner at 195, 2A.
White comes out. Could get a escape here, but nothing. Maisonette drops down to the single leg. And I think he's going to run out of time here, and he is. First period comes to an end with a score 2-0 in favor of the senior from Plano, Derek Maisonette.
White, a state qualifier a year ago, at 182 pounds, a class below this. This is Maisonette's 3rd trip down here. Both his previous 2 trips were at 220 pounds, this time down to 195, looking to defend a state championship.
White chose down to start the second period. Tries to sit out on Maisonette right away. Maisonette brings him back down to the mat. Has an arm bar in, not quite too deep, grabs the wrist. See what he can do with it here. Plenty of time here in the second period. Maisonette leads 2-0.
White's had a couple good scrambles on bottom. He had a really good one to end the first period. Another one there, but on the edge of the mat, not able to do anything before they go out of bounds. So we'll restart in the center, 1:27 to go in the second period. Derek Meisenet of Plano with the lead. Close to locked hands there, both referees looking at it. No points awarded. Meisenet trying to put the legs in. So far, no luck. White tries to come to a base. Again, Meisenet breaks him flat, this time towards the center of the mat. Let's see if Meisenet's able to score anything off this. Meisenet looking for a half. White able to fight that off. Meisenet still with wrist control, though. Under a minute to go in the second period. Great job by Meisenet of Plano so far here in the second. Looking for a cradle. White scrambles, and they go out of bounds with 40 seconds. So 1:20 in, and we're exactly where we started this period. 2-0 in favor of Derek Meisenet. Just like every match down here at the state tournaments, 2 referees on it.
Our lead referee for this one is Dave Fellinger out of Chicago. Backup referee is Ray Epperson, Yorkville.
Again, Meisenet able to break White flat down to the mat. So after scrambling a couple times earlier in the period, Meisenet hasn't allowed White to go anywhere. Under 15 seconds now to go. White again tries to build a base and come to his feet. And again, Meisenet looking for that cradle. Unable to get it, but able to break White flat down to the mat.
So Meisenet rides the entire second period out. We'll go to the third period. It'll be Riverdale's choice. I'm sorry, it'll be Plano's choice. So Meisenet will go down. Coach Joe Kampf of the Reapers of Plano yelling instructions to his wrestler.
You would imagine White will give it a shot here and see if he's able to get a quick turn for back points. Meisenet going to be tough to do that against.
Meisenet stands up. White drops down to a single, but Meisenet comes around and gets a reversal, so he extends his lead 4-0 here early in the last period of this championship bout.
It's probably the worst case scenario there for White. If he gives up the escape, he can go neutral and see if he's able to work something on his feet, but Meisenet just rode White out the entire second period. So this is the spot where Meisenet wants to be and not where White wants to be at all. Down 4-0 in a spot that he's had difficulty with much of this match on bottom.
Meisenet ranked first according to IllinoisMatmen.com rankings all season. Came out of the Plano sectional. Terry White's been bouncing up and down the rankings. Comes into the state tournament ranked 5th. Senior out of Riverdale comes out of the Byron sectional.
Meisenet working an armbar towards the edge of the mat as they go out of bounds. 49 seconds to go. White's going to have to move.
Both men to be in great shape. At this point of the season, you have to be, especially here if you're in the final match of the state tournament. Looks like we're going to get some. We got injury time. Something's going on here. Oh, had a piece of his shoe. That's what the assistant coach is for. 49 seconds left to go in this championship match. White tries to stand up. Meisenet breaks him down flat on the mat here. Earlier today, we saw a third place finish at this weight class out of Jeffrey Haley from Quincy, Notre Dame. He defeated Wesley Keibler of St. Joe's Ogden by a decision 2-0. And then the 5th place match, Joe Behan of Carterville won by injury default over Anthony Bauer of Dwight. And that sets up our championship here. We're just 20 seconds left to go in this match. 4-0. Derek Meisenet looking for his second championship to end his career as a Plano Reaper.
95-pound bout of the 2 undefeateds.
his individual career, that is.
And again, Maisonet has just done an incredible job being able to follow behind White. White just has not been able to do anything this whole match. An impressive performance by Derek Maisonet.
And that's going to do it. Your first champion of the evening is our 195-pound weight class from Plano, the senior, Derek Maisonet, with a score of 4-0. So congratulations to these two young men for making it this far this season. Great sportsmanship shown there by Mr. White of Riverdale. Always a class act from that program. Great to see. So a huge congrats goes out to Derek Maisonet of Plano.
95-pound single A state champion, Derek Maisonet. Derek, great match, two-time state champion. You really seem to hit your stride in period 3. Take us through how you approached in the third period. How did you approach that?
I figured that if I kept them down the whole second period, I'd be able to do it the whole third. I've been training, working on riding time, so I can progress in college and become good in that level. So I figured that being able to ride someone out would be very crucial, and it has.
Very, very, very impressive on top today, holding down a very tough opponent.
The kid was strong. He was very, very, very strong guy, Terry White was. One of my harder opponents, one of my closest match of the year. Kudos to him. He's a really, really, really strong kid.
Great. Derek, congratulations. I know you want to get up to your fans. Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Here we go with the 220-pound state championship match in Class 1A. We're going to have the junior with a 40-2 record from Byron Ross Sealby, wrestling a senior defending champion with a 37-1 record, wrestling out of Lena Winslow, Ty Harmston. Both men scrambling here at the edge of the mat. They'll go out of bounds. Ty Harmston is in the black singlet with white and gold trim. And, of course, Sealby of Byron in the awesome-looking gold-colored singlet with a tiger on the side of it. He'll be the red on the scores. Harmston drops down to an outside single, stands up to his feet, has Sealby's leg up in the air. See if he can do anything with it here. He picks him up, brings him back down, and gets the 2 points. Harmston scores the first points here early. In this first period, they'll go out of bounds, bring it back to the center.
Harmston definitely been the aggressor so far. Had an early shot, unable to keep both of his feet in on the edge. This time had another nice shot, able to finish it this time for the takedown. These guys are familiar with one another. They wrestled last weekend in the sectional finals. Harmston came out the 6-4 victor. And Harmston's familiar with the finals. He's wrestled in the finals 3 times now, like you mentioned before, state champion a year ago. He was second at this weight in 2012. So Harmston looking for his second state championship and his third appearance. This is Sealby's first trip downstate. His brother, older brother, a couple years older, now playing football at Iowa.
University of Iowa, that's correct.
Was a state champion at 285 pounds.
Out there playing football with his now teammate, once a foe on the mat from Riverdale.
Kepi.
Yes, correct. Sealby's going to stand up, so there's going to be stalling on Harmston since he's not bringing him back down to the mat here. One of those odd calls in wrestling, but we'll go with it. 12 seconds left to go here as he's getting back points now. Sealby
I think only one
through.
count. Only one count there, not enough for back. Referee's got to give 2 there.
No points awarded. You're right. I think he only got a 1 count. And that's going to do it for the first period.
A couple of really good scrambles there.
Going to be choice to Harmston. He's going to defer, so it's going to be Sealby's choice.
Interestingly, Sealby's going to go neutral here. Harmston had 2 really good shots in the first period, but Sealby doesn't feel comfortable going on bottom. So we're going to go neutral again.
All place winners at 195 pounds.
Going to work the edge of the mat. They'll go out of bounds. The head referee of this match is Ron Vermillion from Crystal Lake. His partner, another Crystal Lake resident, Tom Futris, who was just inducted into the IWCOA Hall of Fame last night. Working the edge of the mat once again here in the second period. It's 2-0 in favor of Ty Harmston.
Sealby tries to throw towards the edge of the mat, unable to get it. Now looking for a neck wrench, and they go out of bounds. So sometimes when you see guys that are familiar with one another, they're a little more conservative because they know one another's moves, and so it's tough to be able to surprise them, but that hasn't been the case so far. Both these guys have come out and have been aggressive. Harmston leads. In on a nice shot. Can he finish it towards the center of the mat? Sealby sprawls.
Changes it to a double and comes around and gets the 2 points at the edge of the mat with just a minute left to go here in the second period. Harmston of Lena Winslow leads 4-0 over Sealby of Byron.
Another nice job by Harmston. You wondered if he was going to be able to finish it. He brought the leg up. Sealby was able to counter, but Harmston able to stay with it. Finish it towards the edge of the mat for another takedown. He's been awfully impressive on his feet. 2 takedowns and leads 4-0. Harmston's in trouble here. He's going to have to roll through, and he's able to. Sealby almost caught Harmston's head. That would have been problems. Harmston able to roll through. He's awfully comfortable with that tilt. That's what Sealby, I think, wanted to avoid. And now Harmston has Sealby broken down flat with 20 seconds to go in the second period. 4-0 is his lead. They go out of bounds with 15. Harmston's been incredibly impressive so far in the state tournament. A couple of tech falls and a pin mixed in there. So he hasn't wrestled even close to a full match at this point. In fact, he hasn't gone into the third period in any of his matches yet. Sealby's had a much tougher road, certainly in the semifinals, winning 2-1 over Terry Martin of Douglas. We're started again, under 10 seconds now. And again, Sealby broken down flat. As Harmston looking for a tilt, unable to get it, we run out of time. So Harmston's choice in the third period, he's going to go down, leading 4-0. Sealby looks over at his coaches and decides that he's going to let Harmston up before we start the period. 5-0 the lead for Harmston.
Sealby possibly looking for a 5-point move here.
He certainly looks capable of it. He had a nice throw towards the edge of the mat, unable to finish it, but it certainly seems to be in his repertoire. And again, Harmston in on a nice single leg. And again, he's able to finish it. He might get back points. Harmston with Sealby's leg split. See if he's able to do anything off this. 7-0 the lead for Ty Harmston of Lena Winslow. And now he's scoring back points. 2 back points there makes it 9-0. Harmston did a wonderful job continuing to take advantage of the takedown and keeping Sealby's leg split so that he was able to score more. Sealby looking for a roll. And Harmston doesn't allow it to happen. Puts the leg in, breaks Sealby down flat, under a minute to go in the third period. Under 40 seconds now to go. Harmston looking to again work for back points, and he's going to get it again. So Ty Harmston going to score more back points. He leads 9-0. Looking for the fall, unable to get it. but he's going to get 3 back points. So it's 12-0 now. Ty Harmston of Lena Winslow well on his way to another state championship. Under 20 seconds to go. 220-pound match. Incredible match wrestled by Ty Harmston. He's going to be your champion at 220 pounds, his second title in a row. Ty Harmston of Lena Winslow ends his high school career with another state championship. An impressive performance.
Congratulations to that senior from Lena Winslow. They also co-op with Stockton.
220-pound Class A state champ, 2-time state champ, Ty Harmston. Ty, great match. Looks like you wanted to keep the attack on a low level.
Yep, for sure. I knew if I stayed up top on Ross, I was going to get my belt launched just like he did last week.
I had an opportunity to watch that match. You really, really wrestled with a lot of composure. Did the same tonight. Was that your strategy going in to keep it a really kind of a low-level, really slowed down, composed match?
Yeah, I didn't want to try and do anything flashy. You know, I knew if I made any kind of little mistake, he was going to capitalize and he was going to make me pay for it. So I just tried to stay smart and work my moves, and they were there.
I tell you, it was impressive. Congratulations, Ty, on your second state championship.
I think adversity can hit you in 1,000 different ways. You know, how you handle them, I think, speaks pretty strongly about who you are and how you carry yourself and your character. One of the things that I've learned since I was diagnosed with a muscle wasting disease, just how powerful a tool wrestling has been in my ability to handle adversity. I was able to focus on what I still did have in my life rather than what had been taken away.
All right, here we go with the Class 1A 285-pound state championship. We have a senior from Gibson City, Melvin Sibley Fisher, Josh Wallach, with a 42-1 record, going up against a senior. Oh my! Takes him to his back by the edge of the mat. He's going to get 2 points. Did he give him 2 back or no?
No, they were out of bounds.
So he got the 2 points. But anyway, continuing with the introduction, Eduardo Gonzalez, who is a 31-6 senior from Central Catholic High School out of Aurora. Oh my, Wallach takes him right to his back. Gonzalez tried to body lock him and throw him. And Wallach took him to his back. He's going to get no back points. Looks like Gonzalez got out of bounds pretty quickly there as he was taken to his back. And we're going to get blood time on Wallach. Did he give him 2 yet?
He gave him 2 right on the edge of the mat.
Okay.
So 2 back points. Gonzalez able to get out of bounds before it got worse than that, but a 4-0 lead quickly for Wallach of Gibson City. They've wrestled quite a few times. They've wrestled a couple times earlier this season. Wallach was able to catch Gonzalez, pin him in 23 seconds earlier this year. He also pinned him in the first period in a little over a minute. They wrestled down here last year in the first round. Wallach coming away with the fall again in the first period. So Wallach has definitely controlled the matchup between him and Gonzalez.
Wallach is just a beast of a man.
He's the defending state champion at this weight.
Ouch, he takes Gonzalez over to his back. He's going to get 2 more back points, so he's going to open his lead up. Actually, he's going to get more and possibly a fall here. And there it is, your Class 1A 285-pound state champion for the second year in a row, the senior from Gibson City, Melvin Sibley Fisher, Josh Wallach. Congratulations to that big man. And Eduardo Gonzalez, you know, we didn't really have a whole lot of time to talk in this match, but Eddie Gonzalez had one heck of a tournament. He didn't really come in as a favorite to be in the finals, a 31-6 record coming into this championship match, but we are in the State Farm Center where anything has happened, and it always does happen.
It does, and he wrestled so well up to this point. You know he's disappointed for finishing second and for the match being over so quickly, but he was able to upset the number 2 seed in the first round. He was able to upset the number 3 seed in the semifinals and found himself in the finals wrestling incredibly well, but he ran into the buzzsaw that is Josh Wallach.
I'm with Josh Wallach, 2-time heavyweight state champ. Josh, looks like you made real short work of your opponent out there today.
Yes, sir. That's what I was looking for right off the bat.
I'll tell you, really aggressive. I had a chance to watch you wrestle the semis. You came out in the finals with all different aggression.
Thank you. That's what I knew in the semis. I had a little bit less aggression. I knew this one I had to come full force right out from the bat.
Josh, impressive job. Congratulations. Go have some fun tonight, all right?
All right, thank you.
Okay, good job.
The Illinois Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association is the professional organization for wrestling coaches and officials in the state of Illinois. The IWCOA recognizes the accomplishments of groups and individuals at their annual All-State and Hall of Fame banquets, as well as sponsors the Fresh Off State Tournament Series, the Midwest Nationals Wrestling Tournament, and the Illinois-Indiana All-Star Duels, which take place this coming Sunday, March 16th at Hinsdale South High School. To learn more about the IWCOA and their membership benefits, visit iwcoa.illinoismatmen.com.
Here we go with the 106-pound Class 1A state championship. We have a sophomore from Byron with a record of 39-2, Brady Wilsey, going up against a junior from Dakota with a 34-11 record, Dylan Swift.
These wrestlers are quite familiar with one another. They've wrestled each other at least 3 times this year. They wrestled one another in the Princeton Finals, the preeminent Class 1A tournament that happens in January. Swift came away with a 6-3 win in those finals. They were in the same regional where Wilsey picked up an 11-6 win in the finals. They wrestled in sectional finals last weekend, a much closer match, 2-1 in favor of Wilsey, and they find themselves wrestling one another once again this weekend. So 3 weeks.
And here we go, back to action with 1:34 left to go in the first period.
285-pound place winners, please report to the awards area.
There'll be some good scrambling here as we get to the lighter weights. Of course, we started at 195 pounds tonight.
In your school uniform. All 285
Dylan Swift, the first of 6 Dakota finalists that we'll see this evening.
Dakota's having one stellar season for that small school out western part of the state. Both men just kind of locking up here in the center of the mat. Like you said earlier, very familiar with each other. As Swift drops down, has a single leg. And they're going to go out of bounds. Nobody in control yet with 52 ticks left in the first period.
A nice shot, unable to finish it towards the edge of the mat.
Referee John Churchill of Morton on the call for this match. His assistant Jack Williams from DeKalb.
We mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, but you wonder when guys like this are as familiar as these two are with one another. I mean, they know what one another are really good at, what their weaknesses are, and it's a little more difficult. If you've been in the wrestling room with guys after a while, it's kind of a similar thing, and I think it's similar for these guys. They've seen one another. They've been at the same tournaments with one another. They know a lot about one another. And so it often leads to matches like this that are a little more cautious, a little more conservative, trying to find that one spot, that one opening where they're able to make a move.
First period is going to come to an end with no score with these two 106-pound wrestlers. Disc flip is going to go to the choice of Byron. Doesn't even look over at his coaches, just tells the referee he's going to go down. So they obviously have a game plan here. Wilsey stands up, but Swift lifts him back up and brings him back down to the mat. Again, same situation. Now Wilsey up to his feet and gets away, gets the first point scored here. 1-0 your score here, just 20 seconds into the second period of this championship match.
Please report to the awards area.
Swift had a nice idea there right after the escape to go in for a reshot. He wasn't fully committed to it though, and nothing comes of it.
Thad, this is one of those weight classes that is always widely discussed as possibly eliminating, just because there's not a lot of kids this size that are in high school, but obviously there is enough to fill out a state bracket. it's just it's one of those weight classes that seems like it's always being talked about, like it's possibly in danger. And back to action here with 1:03 left to go in the second period. It's 1-0 in favor of Brady Wilsey of Byron.
It's always a really interesting weight class because it's often wide open. You'll see a lot of freshmen that have come in that not a lot of people have heard of unless you follow IKWF or IHSA.
Sure.
So it's always interesting to watch down here.
They'll go out of bounds with 41 seconds left to go.
Like we mentioned before, Wilsey was a state qualifier at this weight a year ago. He didn't place. This is Swift's first trip to the state tournament. Less than 30 seconds to go now. Still 1-0 in favor of Wilsey of Byron. Swift in on a shot towards the edge of the mat. They're going to go out of bounds. Neither of them has come up with a good shot yet. We'll see if one of them can get a nice shot towards the middle of the mat. Even the half shots have been towards the edge of the mat yet. Under 10 seconds now to go here in the second period. Swift again grabs for a leg, nothing going. That's going to be the end of the period. So you'd imagine Swift will choose bottom. He looks over at his coach, Pete Albert, and Matt Jacobs, and both of them giving encouragement, telling Swift to go down. Third period underway.
Of course, an escape here. Ties it up. A reversal puts him in the lead by 1. Still a lot of time here to go in this championship match at 106 pounds. Wilsey so far, just 20 seconds into the third period, doing a good job riding Swift.
Wilsey's been tough on top all tournament long. He's got a couple of pins in this tournament, and in his first match, he didn't allow any points. He won 4-0, so Swift's really going to have to move quickly off the whistle if he wants to find a way out. Swift still in the center of the mat. Wilsey putting the pressure on him. Not allowing the space for Swift to move. Now 1:15 to go. Referee warns them they need to keep moving or he's going to call stalemate. Now we close in on a minute to go in the third period. Still 1-0. Brady Wilsey of Byron leads.
Wilsey's going to have to be careful. He's got both arms underhooked. He was getting a little too high there where Swift could have came out the back. And that's kind of looks like what Swift is trying to do here. He's got 40 seconds. Going to grab Wilsey's head and try to stand up with it. And he's going to get the escape. We're all tied up here with 35 seconds left to go in this championship match.
Swift did a good job working there, working for hand control, and then kind of scooting his way out the back door. It was a move that took a while to happen, but he was able to get wrist control, scoot out, and get the escape. So 25 seconds to go as we restart, tied 1-1.
6 pounds. The winner of freshman from St. Rita, Austin O'Connor.
Nice
Swift
double
down.
leg.
Yep, drops down, changes it up to a single, has a leg of Wilsey. 8 seconds left to go. He's going to have to do something with it here if he wants to win this in regulation. And I don't think
he can get his arm out. He can get it.
Nope, that's going to do it.
Time.
So our first overtime match of the evening is going to happen in this 106-pound weight class. They're going to throw 1 minute up on the clock. First point scored is going to be your victor.
Neither wrestler been warned for stalling at this point, so that doesn't play a factor yet in this match.
Swift drops down to a leg. Doesn't get it. Wilsey doing a good job defending it. Now vice versa. 35 seconds left to go in the first overtime period. Working the edge of the mat. Both corners yelling at their wrestlers, giving them instructions on what to do here. 20 seconds now.
Wilsey's got a good opportunity here. A front headlock.
Come around with it and finish it. Trying to freeze that leg. He's in a good position, but Swift comes up with a leg here. 10 seconds left to go on the clock, and they're going to go out of bounds. Great scramble by these young men.
Swift did a good job there. It looked like he was in a whole lot of trouble, but he was able to get in on a leg and avoid being taken down towards the edge of the mat.
5 seconds now, and I believe that's how we're going to end this first overtime period. So now it'll go to a flip of the disc. Wrestler will get to choose top, bottom, or defer. Goes Swift's way, and he's going to choose down to start the first 30 seconds. This is continuous wrestling now.
They'll wrestle for the whole 30 seconds unless there's a pin, just like a regular match. Remember, it took a minute and a half for Swift to get out the first time. He's going to need to get out a lot quicker in this overtime. It'll be Wilsey's choice in the next overtime. You would imagine if he rides out, he's definitely going to pick bottom. He's doing a wonderful job here. Swift sits out, but not going anywhere yet.
Oh boy, here we go. 5 seconds, we'll see what can happen here. Wilsey doing a good job hanging on to that arm and leg. And that's going to do it. We'll see if the referees are going to get together. Nothing here.
I think that's the right call. Time had run out.
Absolutely.
He was still in control, was Wilsey. And now he gets the choice in this 30-second period. If he gets away and hangs on, Grady Wilsey will be your state champion. If Swift is able to ride him, we'll have another 30-second overtime.
And that'll go to the first person who scored in this match. Yeah, Wilsey's going to get one here. He gets the escape.
Under 10 seconds now. Swift's going to have to move quick.
That's going to end it, folks. Your 106-pound Class 1A champion is going to be the sophomore from Byron.
I'm with 106 Class A state champion Brady Wilsey. Brady, awesome match. You grounded out. Was that what you expected?
No, I thought I was going to dominate the match a little bit more, but all that matters is that I got it in the end.
Wonderful overtime. This is the 4th time you wrestled Swift. Tough matches, every single one of them. What do you think about this one here?
You know, I beat him 2 times in a row, regionals and sectionals, and I knew that I had to finish it off here for the win.
All right, thanks, Brady. Go give your dad a hug.
Thank you.
With a 113-pound Class 1A state championship. We've got a 2-time state champion, Brandon Briggs, with a record of 30-3 from Poplar Grove, North Boone. He is a junior, wrestling a junior from Coal City with a 45-1 record. Cody Minnick. Minnick, the runner-up last year at 106 pounds.
He was 5th 2 years ago at 106, so both these guys have placed every single year they've been in high school. Minnick looking to get to the top for the first time. Briggs looking for his 3rd state championship. Briggs has been at 113 the past couple years. Minnick making the first trip up to 113 after 2 years at 106.
This was one of those championship matches that you and I circled on our bracket sheet as it's probably going to be a good one.
Yeah, it should go either way. I mean, either of these guys is capable of winning. If they wrestled 10 times, you'd imagine each of them would win 5 times.
Right.
They're 2 really quality wrestlers, 2 guys who have been on this scene before, 2 guys that have had wonderful seasons.
Briggs, of course, ran into a road bump last weekend in the Byron sectional, placing 2nd. That's why it's just a road bump. Overcame that, found his way back here in the championship match. However, it wasn't easy. His semifinal match last night.
He had a big lead in.
With Nolan Baker of
got thrown
Byron.
to his back by Baker. Tied it up 8-8, and then Briggs able to get a takedown in the last 10 seconds to win the match. Minnick's had a much more comfortable road to the finals. He won his semifinal 10-4 over Alec Hensey of Dakota.
Briggs of North Boone is in the white singlet with green pinstripes. Minnick of Coal City in the white singlet with a green trim. First period is going to come to an end with no score. It's going to go to Briggs. He defers. Minnick will choose down. Minnick of the two is the taller one. Like we mentioned earlier, Minnick finished second last year at 106 pounds. Had a little scare in that match last year as he bounced his head off the mat as he was being taken down. But was able to get up and continue the match.
Looks like we're going to have some more blood.
Back down on the mat with 1:30 left to go in the second period, and we're back off. No score here in this 113-pound Class 1A state championship for the IHSA. Minnick comes around, trying to get a reversal here. Briggs doing a great job hanging on to that leg.
It's going to be potentially dangerous.
It's going to get there pretty quick here. Leg's kind of out of position where it shouldn't be. Briggs doing a good job, though, hanging on to it, and finally just going to give up on it. Lets it go, so Minnick gets the first score here of this match. Comes in the second period.
Minnick doing a good job continuing to move there on bottom so that Briggs was not able to work any kind of point-scoring combination for back points. Briggs in on a couple nice shots. Can he finish one towards the edge of the mat?
Oh.
Wow, I don't know if he tripped towards the edge of the mat or if he slipped or what, but Minnick sure ended up in control over there, and Briggs is hurt. 3-0. Cody Minnick of Coal City with the lead. So Briggs has got a hole to break out of here, and an escape would go a long way towards getting back in this match.
Will be his choice in the third period. But we're still here in the second with 35 left to go. Briggs tries to stand up. Minnick does a good job going to the front to keep his weight forward on Briggs. Briggs grabs the arm here in a position for possibly a Granby, but he comes up to his feet instead. Minnick drops down and grabs the leg. On his feet here now, and Minnick brings him back down with 15 seconds left to go. Now Briggs gets out. 3-1 is your score. Like I said, it will be Briggs' choice here in the third. Minnick grabs the leg of Briggs, tries to bring it back in, but we're going to run out of bounds with 1 second left to go here.
It was a big escape for Briggs at the end of the second period. Allows him to get back in the match. He can choose bottom here.
Reminder, 106-pound place winners.
Cut this lead to 1, or a reversal will tie it. So
106-pound place winners.
Briggs right back in this match. And the way he moves on bottom, it's going to be tough for Minnick to hold him down.
Briggs gets out. 3-2 now. Minnick ahead by 1.
Briggs shown he's capable of coming up with a really good shot on Minnick. He had the one before that Minnick eventually got the takedown on, so Briggs has got to be confident that he can get in on a nice single leg. He trails by 1.
Briggs hitting some setups. Minnick looks over to the referee like, are you going to allow that? At this point, it was just a setup, really.
Briggs definitely the aggressor at this point in the match. He trails by 1, looking to pick up the pace a little bit here.
Drops down and grabs the leg. Minnick does a good job sprawling back, so Briggs has to back out here. Minnick holding on to Briggs' arm. They'll go back out of bounds here. North Boone head coach Adam Schultz, a Harvard High School alum, yelling words of encouragement to his wrestler. Mark Masters of Coal City has 3 finalists for the Kohlers.
They go out of bounds with 51 seconds to go now. Neither wrestler has been warned for stalling. 3-2. Still Cody Minnick in the lead. Briggs looking for that takedown that'll give him the lead.
Stalling has been called on Minnick. If it happens again, it'll be a point, which would tie it up at this point.
And plenty of time here for Briggs. If he's able to continue to push the pace here, he's probably going to get that second warning. Minnick's going to have to keep moving here. He's going to have to go in on some shots. He's going to have to be on the offensive a little bit here.
Go out of bounds. They'll bring it back to the center with 25 seconds left to go here. 3-2 is the score in favor of Cody Minnick, the junior from Coal City.
15 seconds.
Briggs trying to throw a headlock. He has it locked up here. 5 seconds now. See if he can do something with it. Trying to get his hip in, and it's not going to happen. They go out of bounds.
1 second left on the clock. Briggs is going to need something miraculous now. Minnick's been hit for stalling, but it's hard to believe that nothing's going to happen there. Cody Minnick of Coal City. He finished second a year ago. He's able to avenge that loss this season. He wins the state championship at 113 pounds. Cody Minnick, the junior from Coal City, your state champion.
I'm with your 113-pound Class A state champion, Cody Minnick. Cody, controlled match. Really wrestled solid. Was that the plan going in?
Yeah, that's the plan. All through state series, I've been practicing every day, staying in control, staying dominant, staying really powerful stance, and it worked out well.
Briggs is a two-time returning state champ. Was that in your mind at all when you went into the match?
It was just more motivation to take him out and get the number one.
Cody, I got to tell you, I got a chance to watch you a few times this year. You are an incredibly controlled wrestler. Great match. Awesome job. Go have some fun tonight. Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Both of these guys are explosive, and it's not over. This is going to be a great match.
Here we go, the 120-pound Class 1A state championship. We'll have a junior from Dakota with a 31-8 record, Prentice Walls, wrestling a undefeated wrestler at this point, a senior from Byron, Nelson Baker.
Baker comes in with a record of 41-0, and he has just been unbelievably impressive. They've wrestled, Baker and Walls have wrestled at least 3 times this season. Baker has pinned Walls every time. They wrestled in the sectional finals last week, and Baker had a fall in 44 seconds. They wrestled in the regional finals 2 weekends ago. Baker with a fall in 1:59. They wrestled in the Princeton semifinals, and Baker had a fall in 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So Baker definitely has had control of these matches that he's wrestled this year. Baker's pretty much had control of everyone he's wrestled this year. He's been unbelievable this year. If Albert was not in Class A this year, Nelson Baker would be the guy everyone's talking about.
This is true. Mentioned Baker's been here before. He's a state champion a couple years ago for the Tigers, 2 years ago.
At 113 pounds. He was a state qualifier a year ago. This is Wall's first trip downstate. Baker ranked first by Illinois Mat Men. Walls ranked third. Baker with a nice takedown, leads 2-0. They go out of bounds. So 39 seconds left to go in the first period, and Nelson Baker of Byron with a 2-0 lead. We're going to have a caution. Looks like that's going to be on Baker. 3 of those is a point, so nothing to worry about yet. Baker immediately able to break Walls flat down to the mat. Baker's just got so many ways to be able to put you in trouble.
Yeah, definitely. On the mat, from his feet. And
almost able to catch Walls there for back points, unable to do so. And he's so confident, too. I mean, you can tell he's confident no matter what position he's in. He knows that he's going to be able to come out on top. He's been in all kinds of different positions. He's a senior at this point, so he's experienced it all.
Great weekend for the Baker family. Has the younger son, Nolan, finished 4th in the 113-pound weight class.
Scary to think what he's capable of, only a freshman.
Right.
3 more years left for Nolan.
Nelson here in the finals, and then Bob Baker, their dad, former head coach at Byron, was inducted into the Illinois Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association Hall of Fame just last night. It didn't happen last night. It'll happen in April. They honored him last night as being an inductee.
And Nelson trying to cap the weekend with a victory in a state championship. He leads 3-0. He gets an escape to start the second period. Baker leads Walls of Byron. They go out of bounds. 25 seconds into the second period. Nelson Baker Byron, 3-0 lead over Prentice Walls of Dakota.
And I keep hearing us say Dakota and Dakota a lot tonight.
We mentioned before, they've got 6 guys in the finals. Walls, the second of them. Baker looking for a headlock.
He's got it. And he's over, looking for a fall here in the second period. And he gets it. Your 120-pound Class 1A state champion with a fall.
In 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
Oh, yeah, it comes in the second period.
120-pound state champion, 2-time state champion, Nelson Baker. Nelson, what can I say? Again, I don't know if you know this, Nelson. From the start of regionals until the state championship finals, you have pinned every single opponent that you faced.
You know, that's always the goal, and that's the most dominant thing you can do in wrestling. So, obviously, to come in here and pin my way through, it's just an amazing feeling. Nothing that matches it.
I'll tell you, Nelson, I've been watching you wrestle a long time, probably since you were in grade school. That was probably one of the most dominant performances I've seen in a run since I've been coaching or watching. Incredible job. Incredible job.
Thank you.
Was your goal to come in here and just put it away again?
Just put it away. It's always a goal. Stay on the mat at as least time as you can and just get the job done. Come out the winner.
A great weekend for the Bakers. Your dad gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Your younger brother takes 4th, and you walk away with the state title. Go up and have a great time with your family. Great job, Nelson.
Thank you.
Well, I think adversity can hit you in 1,000 different ways. Major adversities is something that, if they haven't hit you, sooner or later will. But to be honest with you, aside from the sport of wrestling, I had never really done it in life. I have some kids with real tough lives who have seen real hardship. 1 or 2% of the population are naturally driven, and the rest of us, we have to find a way to learn it.
Here we go with the Class 1A 126-pound state championship. We're going to have a junior from Coal City with a record of 33-3, Corey Jerzak, wrestling up against a senior with a 41-3 record, Caleb Mitchell.
Jerzak finished 2nd at 113 pounds last year. Looking to join his teammate, who also finished 2nd last year, able to finish 1st this year, Cody Minnick. Jerzak looking to go 1 spot up the ladder and finish his junior season with a state championship.
We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Coal City has 3 finalists. This is 2 of 3, as we're seeing right now. It's Corey Jerzak comes around and gets the first takedown of the match. He leads 2-0 now.
Caleb Mitchell has wrestled incredibly well throughout this tournament.
Jerzak puts the legs in.
Mitchell defeated the #1 ranked wrestler in Brandon Malone of Herscher 4-3 in the quarterfinals. And then he was able to defeat Garrett Brackbill of Shelbyville in the semifinals. And he finds himself here in the finals. He was ranked 5th by Illinois Matman. Corey Jerzak ranked 3rd. This is the only weight class where the #1 ranked wrestler is not in it.
35 seconds left to go in the first period. Mitchell trying to get out here.
Jerzak's awfully high. He's got long legs, but he's in trouble.
Mitchell does the right thing here. He could possibly get Jerzak in on a defensive pin here, but not going to happen that way. Mitchell trying to come out the back door.
Wow, I cannot believe Jerzak's been able to hang on. 10 seconds left now. Now he's in trouble. There's a reversal.
He gets that with 7 seconds left to go in the first period, so we're all tied up here at this 126-pound state championship match.
Jerzak was in trouble right away when he tried to put the leg in. Mitchell seemed to know it was coming, and he was able to counter it right away, and eventually it led to the reversal. Mitchell's choice to start the second period. Immediately he chooses down. Coal City coach talks to Jerzak and asks him whether he wants to ride or go on their feet. Jerzak looks like he wants to work on top, see if he can work some kind of point-scoring move.
All tied up with 2s here on the board. Micho coming down.
Micho's in trouble there. Jerzak's got that in awfully tight. Is he going to be able to crank the half over for any points, though? Micho's broken down flat.
He does have a leg in. But at the same time, he's also a little high. Why did we stop here? We're going to get 1 point for an illegal move. Oh, he came up and
looks like a full Nelson.
Put in a full Nelson.
He did. Wow. And again, the Coal City coach asks if he wants to go on his feet. And again, Jerzak waves him off and says, no, I want to work on top. And he was awfully close to getting something off that, it looked like, but made a mistake there with a full Nelson. So 3-2 now, the lead in favor of Caleb Micho of Rockford Lutheran. Again, Jerzak looking to work that power half.
Referee Ray Eichelschulte, a fouler. Got down there to see if we change from a half into a full again, but he did not.
Reminder, 120-pound placement.
Jerzak's got a cradle.
He does have a cradle locked up. See if he can do anything with it. He's got plenty of time. I think he's going to.
He almost tried to roll through there. It's the more dangerous one, but
got to be careful when you try to do that.
He's got it locked up, though. Oh, gives it up there. Mitchell's just so strong. It's tough to be able to move him all that well. Jerzak's a lot taller and lankier. Big 20 seconds here. Is Mitchell going to be able to get an escape? Jerzak still hanging on. He's got a double leg. He's going to want to get down to a single leg here, so he avoids giving up the escape. He gives it up.
Does
4-2.
Escape, right. See if he can come around and get the takedown here. He's not going to be able to do it. He's going to run out of time. It's going to be Coal City's choice for the third period.
Jerzak's going to go neutral. Interesting choice.
Takedown to tie it.
Takedown will tie it. He had a takedown in the first period, did Jerzak, so he must be confident he can get another one. Almost gets one right there off the whistle. Jerzak gets another nice takedown there towards the edge of the mat. He did a good job shucking by, able to get the escape, or get the takedown rather, ties the match 4-4. Looks like he wants to let Micho off.
Yeah, he wants to cut him, but Micho comes back around, hooks the leg with his leg, and then also grabs it with his hand, so we get a stalemate. A minute 39 left to go. We'll see if we're going to cut him here.
And the coach definitely wants him to, that's for sure. And so I would imagine he'll and he is going to let him up.
That's what he's going to do.
Jerzak will let Micho up. Jerzak has definitely been the better wrestler on his feet. 5-4. Caleb Micho of Rockford Lutheran with the lead. Jurzak looking for his third takedown of the match. He has definitely been the aggressor on his feet. He's had a couple good shots, able to finish them, but he finds himself needing one more. 5-4. Caleb Mitchell of Rockford Lutheran with the lead. Another nice shot by Jurzak. Can he finish it? They're towards the edge of the mat. Mitchell tries to counter. He's got plenty of time left. Great job by Jurzak, able to readjust and able to get the takedown. A minute to go, 6-5. Corey Jurzak of Coal City with the lead. Jurzak definitely feels confident on top. It'll be interesting to see what he does with the legs. That's what he likes to do often, but it got him in trouble in the first period.
Coal City coach Mark Masters yelling at his wrestler on instructions on what to do here. 35 seconds left to go in the opposite corner. Longtime Rockford Lutheran coach Tim Muther. Oh, he's got the cradle locked up there. He's going to get the reversal and back points.
Unbelievable.
20 seconds left to go. 2 for the reversal, 2 back points. He goes up.
Caleb Mitchell, unbelievable. Gets the reversal. He's going to have 2 back points when he gives it up, but he's just going to want to hang on to this. Unbelievable. I cannot believe he locked that up from where he was at.
Crazy. That's going to do it. Your 126-pound state champion from Rockford Lutheran, the Crusader.
I'm with Caleb Miko, your 126-pound Class A state champion. Caleb, awesome finish. Awesome finish.
Thank you. First off, I just got to thank all my friends and family, and especially my coaches over at Alpha and then Jamie Crosno. I've just been working every day since last year for this moment. I just got to thank them first.
You bounced back real strong after your third place finish last week in sectionals. Came out here this weekend and got on fire. Awesome job turning it around in that third period and turning that cradle over.
Yeah.
Did you feel that at all, or just kind of fell into it?
I couldn't lose. I knew coming in. If he was gonna beat me, I was gonna have to die. And I mean, I almost passed out after I won because I tried so hard to get it, but I mean, it worked. Now I'm the state champ.
Caleb, congratulations. Awesome job. Enjoy it tonight, all right?
I will.
Thanks for the interview.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
You look at the boards in our wrestling room, you'll see, 5, 6 family members of mine up on there, so it's kind of just in the blood, and, I came out, and as soon as I could walk, everybody in the family's wrestling around with me, just playfully, like put me on my back and stuff, and then, you just grow into it, and then, I just grew up watching it, and then, I wanted to be out there. I mean, I've had the goal to be a 4-time state champ since 6th grade. My sophomore year, I actually got a little more nervous downstate. I had the same kid that I had the year before in the finals, and it's probably 5th or 6th time I've wrestled him. And it's hard to wrestle guys over and over and keep beating them. But I got nervous, but I worked for it, and I've trained so hard that even nerves couldn't stop me. It's just instinct, and I just went out there and took it. We got scheduled with OPRF, Marist, Marmion. That was the first time I was going to wrestle those guys in dual format. So, I knew it was going to be tough. I knew I was going to be wrestling some of the best guys in the country. But, yeah, I had the same expectations. Go undefeated, don't get taken down, and it worked out. I think, the Chicago area is a big part in it. They get all the credit. Some of the smaller schools like Dakota and everything kind of get, pushed aside, but I think everyone's starting to learn that, we can roll with them too. But I think Illinois it has such a great history. Just you look back, we've had some of the greatest wrestlers in the United States. So I think it's just tradition and just competition.
Here we go with the Class 1A 132-pound Class 1A state championship. we are going to see possibly history tonight, Thad Book. We have a undefeated, not only this season, but undefeated in his career in high school. 43-0 right now as it sits from Dakota, Josh Elber. And he is wrestling another senior, 43-3 record from Coal City, Casey Brown.
You run out of things to say about Elber as he gets a nice takedown there. He's 178-0. If he wins this match, he'd be the only Illinois wrestler in history to go through his entire career without losing or tying a match. He won state last year at 120 pounds, 2 years ago at 120 pounds. His freshman year, he won it at 106 pounds. He's had an incredible career. He's knocked off everyone. He's ranked 5th in the nation by Intermat. He's 1st in the nation by Win Magazine. I mean, he's had an incredible career, and he's just topped it off this year with some incredible wins. He was the outstanding wrestler in the Dvorak tournament, which is maybe the preeminent tournament in the state of Illinois. Knocked off Cortez from Glenbard North, who's wrestling in the finals over there on mat number 3. He's had an incredible career. He looks to cap it off with one more victory this year. Casey Brown is no slouch himself.
No.
He gave Elber one of the best matches he probably had last year in the finals. Elber was frustrated afterwards. You could tell that he was disappointed the way that he wrestled, and that's a lot of credit to Brown for the way that he wrestled last year. And so Brown finished 2nd a year ago. He finished 5th at 120 in 2012. So Casey Brown in his senior season will place for the 3rd time, and he's looking to go one step higher, but he's got the bulldozer that is Josh Elber in front of him.
So as we sit here now with 32 seconds left to go in the first period, it's 4-1 in favor of Josh Elber over Casey Brown right now. But like I said, it's still the first period. And as we said at the beginning of the broadcast, we are in the State Farm Center where anything can happen. 10 seconds left to go now here in the first period.
This is the first, Elber being the first of 4 Dakota wrestlers that'll wrestle in a row here. This is definitely the heart of their lineup. They don't have many weaknesses when you have this many finalists, but
right,
this is where they're definitely strong. You've first run up against a guy who hasn't lost in high school, and then 3 other finalists come after him.
It's going to be Elber's choice to start the second period. He looks over to his coaches, who are his uncle and his father, Pete Elber and Tony Elber. They tell him to go down, so he'll start down to start the second period. He's up on the scoreboard, however. 4-1. As I say that, he comes up with a leg on Casey Brown and takes him back down to the mat, grabs the other ankle of the other leg. Referee Jim Carnahan signals for 2. Gives the reversal, so 6-1. Elber lets him go, 6-2 down.
Elber just does not have a weak spot. He's good everywhere on the mat. He's incredibly good on his feet. He's great on top. You can't keep him on bottom for very long, as you saw there. Great shuck down there, able to get behind his Elber, but is he going to be able to stay in bounds? Elber gets the takedown right on the edge of the mat as they go out of bounds. So 8-2 now the lead. Elber has opened it up a little bit, and he wants to go back on his feet.
So he gives them the optional escape. So it's 8-3 now, 1:15 left to go in the second period. Like I mentioned, 43-0 right now, 177-0 in his 4 years in high school.
Under a minute to go in the second period. Nice shot by Elber.
Wow, nice.
Fireman
takes Brown to his back. He's getting back points. He's got the 2 takedown. So it's 10-3. And add on 2 more. 12-3 now with 40 seconds left to go. He cuts Brown. Gives him the escape. So 12-4 with 30 seconds left to go.
Elber just showing his full repertoire here in the finals. Another nice blow by there for another takedown. Now a 10-point lead, 14-4. Elber with a quick glance up to the clock. Ten seconds.
Elber, earlier this season, made his commitment to the University of Northern Iowa. So he'll head off that way after his senior season is done. It's not done after tonight, though. Dakota won their regional, which qualified them for the team sectionals.
Definitely the favorite in Class 1A to
They
bring
are.
home a team trophy, that's for sure. Elber again with another nice fireman's. And again, another takedown. Is he going to be able to get back points this time? It doesn't look like it. So Brown does a good job battling to stay off his back. (16-5) now. Josh Elber with the lead. Minute and a half remaining in the third period. Elber again shucks Brown down to the mat.
A lot of talk halfway through this season, of course, with a big matchup between Elber and Cortez, like who you mentioned is wrestling down in the Class 3A championship right now. Highly anticipated match. Went to overtime. Elber came away with a win. Remember watching the interview with Elber after that match, and the interviewer asked him, why he did certain things during the match. He said, we had a plan. My dad and my uncle and I talked before the match started, and if the match went this way, then we were going to do this. If it went this way, we were going to do that. And obviously, whatever plan they went with, it worked.
20 seconds now to go.
Head coach Pete Elber
shouting it. Elber to get one more takedown here. 10 seconds left. Is he going to get it?
That's going to end the match right there. The first unbeaten wrestler in the history of the state of Illinois with a perfect 178-0 record. You're now 132-pound Class 1A state champion from Dakota, Josh Elber. And he is getting a standing ovation here at the State Farm Center. Rightfully so, he's earned it. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Dakota, his family. 178 wins, 0 losses for that young man, who's going to go on and probably have a successful college career.
I'm with your 132-pound Class A, 4-time, 178-0 state champion, Josh Elber. Josh, is the pressure off now?
It's the greatest feeling I've ever felt. No one knows how I was feeling before the match because no one's been in my position, and it was tough. It doesn't matter who I'm wrestling. Every match was tough to get through, and I was just nervous all the time, and now it's the greatest feeling I've ever felt.
Really relief there. You finished the match like you started every match. So dominant, on your feet, ground out the victory. Incredible job. Northern Iowa next year.
Yeah, Northern Iowa. I love the coaches, love the where the direction they're headed, and I'm just excited to move on to the next level and learn. So,
Josh, close the chapter. Get by the pressure. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Awesome high school career, kid.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The Illinois Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association is the professional organization for wrestling coaches and officials in the state of Illinois. The IWCOA recognizes the accomplishments of groups and individuals at their annual All-State and Hall of Fame banquets, as well as sponsors the Fresh Off State Tournament Series, the Midwest Nationals Wrestling Tournament, and the Illinois-Indiana All-Star Duels, which take place this coming Sunday, March 16th at Hinsdale South High School. To learn more about the IWCOA and their membership benefits, visit iwcoa.illinoismatmen.com.
Here we go with the Class 1A 138-pound state championship match. We're going to have a undefeated senior from Argenta, Oriana, record of 42-0, Nate Joza, wrestling a junior with a 38-4 record from Dakota, J.J. Wolf.
These two, the top 2 ranked guys at 138 pounds. Wolf ranked number 1, Joza ranked number 2. This is one of the matchups we're looking forward to. last year in the semifinals. Wolf able to get the victory, 4-2 over Joza. Joza finished third at 132 pounds last year. Wolf was the runner-up, losing in overtime to Andy Rodewald of Wilmington last year. So Wolf looking to bring home his first state championship.
31-7, Mario LaVille. His opponent, a junior from Oak Park River Forest with a record of
Both men kind of matched each other in the prelim round, quarterfinal round, and semifinal round. It was like they were watching each other and wanted to beat each other.
Couple technical falls in their first matches, and then an 8-1 win for Joza in the semifinals and a 9-1 win for Wolf. So impressive performances from both these guys throughout the tournament and throughout the year. Wolf wrestled up a weight for part of the season, wrestling at 145, eventually settled on going 138.
Another one of those matches we had circled on paper at the beginning of the tournament that if it happened, everything played out the way it was supposed to, it would be a match for the ages.
Not a great shot there by Joza. Tried to go across the body. That led him into a bit of trouble. Wolf able to counter and almost ended up in on a nice shot himself.
All 132-pound place winners should be in the awards area. All 132-pound place winners, please report to the awards area.
"15 seconds left to go here in the first period of this match. No score. Both men just trying to feel each other out here. See who's going to make the first move. We're going to end scoreless in the first period.
Joza's choice, he defers. Wolf goes down. Wolf rolls through immediately. Joza is able to end up back behind and no points are scored. They go out of bounds. Nice scramble in those 8 seconds, but no points scored. Joza still on top. Wolf on bottom. Joza covers. Joza tries to put in the leg, realize that's not happening. Wolf stands up and gets the escape. So 1-0, J.J. Wolf of Dakota with the lead.
So 1-0 in favor of Wolf of Dakota.
All 132-pound place winners, please report
Wolf,
to the
part of
awards
that
area.
Dakota team that we've talked about so much tonight already.
Please report to the awards area.
Minute left to go here now in the second period. Still 1-0. As I say that, Joza drops down, tries to take a shot. Wolf does a great job sprawling back. Now grabs a leg. Joza does a good job defending the Wolf, trying to come around on him. So back up on their feet here with 50 seconds left to go in the second period.
Neither wrestler is fully committed to a shot yet. Wolf had a nice reshot there, but didn't feel comfortable enough about it, and Joza was able to counter it quickly. 30 seconds now to go. Still 1-0 to score. J.J. Wolf leads. He had an escape earlier in the second period. It'll be Joza's choice to start the third. Joza has a bit of an unorthodox stance. He goes down so low. Joza trying to work off the arms. He's tried to do that a few times. Nothing coming of it yet. It looks like time's going to run out at second period. Joza's choice. He's going to go neutral. Interesting. Wolf is tough on top, tough enough that Jose's not even going to bother with trying to go on bottom. So he trails 1-0, and now he needs probably a takedown to win this match. Jose again in on a shot, unable to do anything. Wolf does a good job countering as they circle back towards the middle of the mat. 40 seconds into this third period. 1-0 still the score. Jose again trying to work off the head and off the arms. Tries a throw by, not going.
Minute left to go now here. Just a little bit over a minute. This championship match. Wolf has a head of Jose, and they'll go out of bounds.
All 132-pound
59 seconds to go now. Good scramble there. No point scored.
You should be in the awards area at this time.
Wolf just so good on his feet. Looks like Jose kind of brings his head down, try to get a front headlock on it. And Wolf just does a great job getting away from it.
Wolf's got really good balance. Jose just hasn't been able to get inside on him. Things that Jose's able to do against everyone else so far in this tournament, Wolf hasn't allowed him to do it. Working off the head, working off the arms. That's what Jose likes to do, and Wolf hasn't allowed him to get his offense going. Jose in on a shot again, and Wolf again sprawls. And it's Wolf who's in the better spot, it looks like right now. Wolf puts in a whizzer. They're towards the edge of the mat. They're going to go out of bounds with 25. Neither of these guys have been warned for stalling, so keep that in mind as these last 25 seconds of the third period get underway. Jose's going to have to find some kind of offense that he just hasn't been able to find so far in this match. And now a warning for stalling on Wolf. Jose's going to have to move here. 10 seconds now. Wolf still leads 1-0.
Wolf has 2 underhooks, 5 seconds now. Argenta coaches want a stalling call, but they're not going to get it. And your 138-pound state champion in Class 1A is going to be the junior. Now with a 39-4 record, J.J. Wolf. Congratulations to that young man, and also congratulations to Nate Jose on a great season. He finishes 42-1. Nothing to hang his head about.
I'm with your 138-pound Class A state champ, J.J. Wolf. J.J., hard-fought match. Were you ready for that?
Yeah, I've been preparing all week for him. I knew I was going to have him. I knew it was going to be a tough match. We just kept going head-to-head.
Way to slug it out on your feet there at the end. You circled well. You kept the battle going. You didn't back off. Hard-fought win.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself. Congratulations, all right?
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Lee Kemp, 3-time world champion and Olympic wrestling coach. When I was an athlete, I looked for any type of edge I could get, and nutrition was that edge for me as an athlete. And I created the company Forza to help athletes get that nutritional edge. And when I finished competing, I wanted to do something that would allow me to be involved in wrestling and give something back to wrestling. So I created the company Forza. Forza is a nutritional company that allows me to pursue a great passion that I have of nutrition. ForzaByKemp.com.
Here we go with the 145-pound Class 1A state championship match. 39-1 senior from Newman Central Catholic High School in Sterling, Jake Snow. He's wrestling a sophomore with a 34-10 record from Dakota, Greg Krulis. They had another Dakota wrestler.
Another Dakota wrestler, yes.
Third in a row. We're going to have another one.
Carver James up next. Jake Snow of Sterling Newman is looking to bring home a state championship. If he does it, it'll be the 11th year in a row Sterling Newman has had a state champ. They've already had a finalist for the 15th straight year. An impressive run by Sterling Newman. Jake Snow, of course, a star football player as well, almost rushed for 2,000 yards on the football field. Now he's looking to bring home his second state championship. He was first at 112 pounds in the old weights when he was a freshman. He was hurt as a sophomore, so he wasn't down here. Last year he finished third at 126, and he's looking to finish his high school career with a state championship, bookending with state championships. He's got a takedown and leads 2-0 in this match. He's ranked #1 in the state by Illinois Mat Men. Greg Krulis from Dakota. It's his first trip down here, and he's ranked 3rd by Illinois Mat Men.
Snow, of course, wrestled state champion that we just had at the last weight class, 138. J.J. Wolf wrestled him twice this year, and they split those.
Krulis and Snow wrestled last weekend in the sectional finals. Snow a 12-3 winner. So they're definitely familiar with one another. Snow looking to repeat that.
Krulis tries to sit out. Snow stays with him. Now puts a leg in. 25 seconds left to go here. Referee's going to call a stalemate. 16 seconds left to go.
Please report to the awards area. All place winners at 138 pounds. Please report to the awards area.
Krulis again tries to stand up, and again Snow brings Krulis back down to the mat. Snow incredibly strong. Looking for some kind of point-scoring move. Krulis does a good job to roll through and not give up anything. So 2-0 the score. Jake Snow of Sterling Newman with the lead. It's Krulis' choice here in the second period, and he's going to go down. Immediately, Snow gives up the escape. Looks like Sterling Newman coaches were hopeful that he could be on top for a little bit longer. Snow wants to work on his feet. He had an impressive takedown in the first period. Now he'll look to open it up here. 2-1, Jake Snow of Sterling Newman with the lead. Greg Krulis of Dakota right in this match.
Wrestlers are going to go out of bounds with 1:33.
Snow in on a shot, unable to get anything. Krulis does a good job sprawling and has Snow in a front headlock. Referee's going to call stalemate and start over. 1:09 remaining here in the second period. Krulis tries a throw by, unable to get anything there. As we go under a minute. Krulis looks frustrated that he hasn't been able to find some kind of offense here. Krulis is warned for stalling. Good shot by Krulis there, unable to score any points. They go out of bounds. This was warned for stalling here in the second period, something to keep in mind.
Krulis only a sophomore for the Indians.
That's the scary thing about their team. They brought 10 guys down here. Every single one of them placed, and 8 of them will be back next year.
It's crazy.
I mean, of course, they lose a couple of wonderful wrestlers in Daniel Zimmerman and Josh Albert, but Dakota just seems to reload. And they'll be just as good next year, it seems, as they were this year, which is even hard to imagine. Well, second period comes to an end. Jake Snow has the lead. He's going to go down. Pete Albert, Dakota's coach, shouting instructions to his wrestler. We're underway. Snow comes to his feet. Does a nice switch. Is he going to be able to get the reversal on the mat? Snow looking for the cradle. They go out of bounds, but he's at least going to get an escape here.
Yeah.
He gets the escape.
When he had a cradle locked up, you almost have to give him something there.
Right. The control is certainly lost. So 3-1 now. Jake Snow of Sterling Newman with the lead.
Both men just tied up now. Oh, they go out of bounds. It's going to be stalling on Snow. Head coach Steve Davis yells out to his wrestler, needs to listen.
Krulis again tries that throw by. Again able to not do anything with it. He's going to have to push the pace as we go under a minute in the third period. 3-1, Jake Snow with the lead. Looking to bring home another state championship for Sterling Newman. We're going to have a stalemate, and we're going to start over with 47 seconds. After that first takedown, Snow has not been able to come up with another good shot. They go out of bounds with 38. Snow in on a double leg. Is he going to be able to finish it? Krulis does a good job countering. With 25 seconds left. We're going to have another stalemate. Under 20 now. Krulis in on a single leg. Can he finish it with 10? Snow doing a good job putting his hips down and sprawling. Krulis now tries to switch to a double. Snow puts in a whizzer. They go out of bounds with 2, with 1. Newman fans come to their feet, and that's going to do it. Jake Snow of Sterling Newman. He won a state championship as a freshman. He does it here again as a senior. A 2-time state champion. Jake Snow of Sterling Newman. And once again, Sterling Newman as a state champion for the 11th straight year.
Yeah, what a crazy record they have. But
Jake Snow, 145-pound Class A state champ. Jake, how's it feel to finish where you started in your freshman year?
It feels good that I was able to come back from my obstacles I had my sophomore and junior year. Junior year I had my eye infection. Sophomore year I broke my wrist, and just keep going, to keep working, persevering to get where I was my freshman year again at the end during my senior year. It means a lot. It's a great accomplishment, and I really enjoy it, and it's the greatest time of my life.
That's awesome. You were really controlling the match. You didn't seem to be in any sort of trouble through the whole match. Was that the game plan going in?
My coaches told me that he was going to go out, try to keep it close, and hopefully get something big on top in the third period. So I knew if I got a takedown in the first, I was trying to get more takedowns as time went on, but he was really good at defense. But third period, I just knew I had to escape because Dakota's really good at their tips, and I knew that. And getting out, taking shots I needed to avoid getting stalling points taken away. I was hoping to get a couple more takedowns in there, but a win's a win, and it's all that really matters.
Great job, Jake. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
here we go with the 152-pound Class 1A state championship match. We've got a junior from guess which school?
Dakota.
40-1 record. Carver James wrestling a senior, a 33-3 record from Durand, Jacob Lennox.
Carver James, the defending state champion. He's bumped up 2 weight classes, was at 138 pounds a year ago. He finished third his freshman year at 126. Jacob Lennox was a state qualifier 2 years ago as a sophomore at 126 pounds. A bit of a surprise, at least according to the rankings. Jacob Lennox was ranked 10th coming into this. Of course, Carver James, the #1 ranked wrestler at 152 pounds. They're very familiar with one another. They've wrestled 3 times this season. They were in the same regional. Carver James with a fall in 5 minutes, 25 seconds. They wrestled last week in the sectional finals. It was a little closer. James winning 8-2. They wrestled in a duel earlier in the year, and I believe the score for that was 5-0. So they've wrestled 3 times this year. Carver James coming out on top all 3 times.
No score as of yet here. 40 seconds left to go in the first period. Lennox of Durand in the white singlet.
Place winners, please report to the awards area.
You almost got to wonder if these two have seen each other more so than what you just mentioned, being from that part of the state. Durand and Dakota are just very similar over the span of their wrestling career, not just this year or last year, you know, back in IKWF days or junior high and whatnot.
Nice takedown right at the end of the first period here by Carver James. That was definitely, he's going to go down. We're going to have a caution on Lennox. Tried to start a little too early. Of course, 3 cautions is a point.
Correct.
James comes to his feet. Able to get the escape. So 3-0, Carver James of Dakota with the lead.
145-pound place winners, please report to the awards area.
James tries to go in with a high C. Doesn't get anything as Lennox backs out. James comes around. Just works and gets a takedown, and now he's going to cut him here at the edge of the mat. 5-0. Make that 5-1 now. As he does finally give up escape. James comes around and gets another takedown. 7-1.
He's just awfully good at controlling the head. You've seen that on the last 2 takedowns that he's had. He's been able to control the head, and if you control the head, the rest of the body's going to go with it. James now opens up a 5-point lead. And he's looking for more.
By the edge of the mat here, he has the leg of Lennox. Now comes around, tries to put a half in, but they go out of bounds. So we'll be back on their feet. 7-2 with 38 seconds left to go. Pete Albert had to take a break, I think. Gave up his chair to his son, Vince Albert.
That's the second caution on Lennox.
Carver comes up with a leg, takes him down. 9-2 is the lead.
One of the things that's certainly true for Dakota, we've talked about how dominant they've been, and they have these 4 weight classes in a row where they have finalists. You can only imagine that helps in the room when these guys are wrestling against one another. I mean, sometimes the best competition for them doesn't come in the meets against other teams, but it's coming in the wrestling room, and that's a huge advantage for Dakota.
Second period is going to come to an end. Carver James leads 9-2. It's going to be Lennox's choice. He chooses down. James immediately looks at the ref and, oh, I thought he held his hands up. Thought he wanted to go on his feet, but he did not.
Optional start.
Oh, he does the optional. Okay. Gets the escape, 9-3. James comes around with another takedown. Oh, it almost sounds like we're on repeat, but Dakota is just dominant. I mean, even the Crewless, who didn't win, and Prentice Walls, who didn't win, they were dominant in their matches. You don't always have to win a match and be dominant. I'd be interested to attend one of Dakota's practices just to see how intense that is. I mean, it's got to be intense with the Albers coaching. Former champion Vince Albert, he's an assistant coach. Matt Jacobs.
You would imagine they get on the mat too and roll around with these guys. And yeah, like I said, I would imagine the competition in that room is just got to be, it's ratcheted up. And with Pete Albert, who's an intense guy, who's a guy who likes to get after it, you can only imagine that room is a really competitive room and one that you can't help get better in. That's for sure.
Ooh. They do step out of bounds with 1 minute left to go. 15-6 is your score in favor of the junior from Dakota, Carver James. Final minute now. Got to give credit to Lennox here. He's doing a good job staying somewhat close in this match, doing the best he can against a wrestler like Carver.
And your class 3A champion at 152 pounds from Mount
James continues to want to wrestle on his feet. He's been completely dominant there. He's been able to do whatever he wants. He's been able to get the shots that he wants. He's been able to absolutely control this match because he's been dominant on his feet.
Final 25 seconds now, 17-7. Lead is 10 by Carver James. One loss coming in the finals of the Dvorak.
Nice shot there by James.
Gets a takedown at the edge of the mat, 19-7 now. 12 seconds left to go. See what he's going to do. Probably ride him out here, final 12 seconds. Ten seconds now left to go, 19-7. That's how this match is going to end. Your 152-pound Class 1A state champion, the junior who improves to 41-1, Carver James of Dakota.
Now a two-time state champion. He bumped up a couple of weight classes this year, and he still just as dominant as he was last year. An impressive performance by Carver James.
52-pound champion, Carver James from Dakota. Carver, dominant performance. Is that how you anticipated taking the match, just going out and absolutely dominating him on your feet?
Yeah, my goal coming to the tournament was not give up a single point unless I cut him to try to score more points, and I accomplished my goal, so pretty satisfied.
This is the third week in a row that you had the same guy in the finals, and I think every week I've watched it's gotten worse.
Yeah, I think that went to my advantage because I'm pretty good at reading guys and knowing what they're going to do, and I anticipated he's, trying to not make it close, and I broke him and just kept scoring and scoring. So
absolutely dominant, Carver. Let's get your third state championship next year, okay?
Hey, follow me on Twitter at @thecar.
£160 Class 1A state championship on deck here. We'll have a senior with a 40-2 record from Lena Winslow, Quincy Kalkbrenner. He's wrestling another senior from Plano with a 46-1 record, Wes Brown.
Kalkbrenner in with a nice shot to start the match and trips for the takedown. 2-0, Quincy Kalkbrenner leads. And Brown in on a reversal. So we're tied 2-2 right away. So Kalkbrenner in on a nice shot to start with. Brown with a nice reversal to tie it up. Both these guys, four-time state qualifiers. Kalkbrenner, a state champion a year ago at 145 pounds. He finished third 2 years ago at 138, and he was a state qualifier as a freshman. Wes Brown of Plano finished fourth a year ago at 160 pounds, the weight that he's currently at. He finished third at 160 and 2012. He was a state qualifier as a freshman at 152 pounds. Kalkbrenner with an escape, now a takedown, leads 5-2. Kalkbrenner ranked number 1 in the state. Brown ranked number 2.
5-2 is the score right now in favor of Quincy Kalkbrenner. Two more weight classes to go after this one. Started the night at 195 pounds. Something new, the IHSA started last year, kind of mixing it up. And we keep the crowd here.
Kalkbrenner trying to bring Brown back down to the mat. Able to grab onto an ankle, and they go out of bounds. 43 seconds to go in the first period, 5-2. Kalkbrenner leads. A couple of nice shots by him. It's giving him a 3-point lead to start this match. It's like a caution on Brown.
Yep. Referee is telling him what he did.
He can't move after he gets set.
No, he had his hands arched. Hands got to be flat on the mat. Scott Holbrook of Orion is our referee.
Brown again looks like he's about to get an escape or maybe even a reversal, but Kalkbrenner does a good job following behind. And Kalkbrenner puts in on a half, and he's able to turn Brown over for back points.
Wow.
We've got at least 2 here. Wow, Brown is incredibly strong. You can't imagine that's happened barely at all this year, if at all. 7-2 now. Kalkbrenner in control so far in the first period. About 5 seconds to go. We've seen throughout this tournament, anytime if you've watched Quincy Kalkbrenner wrestle, he likes to push the pace. He's really good on his feet. He's got a bunch of moves on top. And through one period, he's showing that he's got a bunch of different moves to work with. A couple of great takedowns. And a nice move to score a couple of back points. We're neutral to start the second period. Brown's going to have to be the one that pushes the issue here.
Wes Brown was a all-state football player this year for the Reapers of Plano.
We mentioned it time and time again. Football and wrestling definitely seem to dovetail with one another. A lot of football players who come out for wrestling and end up down here. We've named quite a few who are already in the finals. Brown trying to work something with the upper body, unable to do anything as they go out of bounds with 55 seconds to go in the second period. 7-2, Quincy Kalkbrenner. He had a great start to this match. Still in control.
.30 seconds left to go here in the second period.
Under 5 now. Kalkbrenner in on a shot. Can he finish it quickly? Time is out. No takedown given. That was awfully close. Kalkbrenner almost had another takedown. It's his choice. He's going to go on bottom. Brown's going to cover on top.
Lena Winslow coach Kevin Milner telling his wrestler to control the hands.
Brown looking to work some kind of move that's going to get him back in this match, looking for back points. "35 seconds in, nothing yet."
Almost wonder at what point, if they do, they'll have Brown cut him. And they might not. Assistant coach for Plano telling Brown we need one turn here.
We started a little early there. That'll be on Kalkbrenner.
All 152 pound
First caution.
You should be in the awards area at this time.
Brown will cover on the other side.
152 pound place winners. You should be in the awards area at this time.
Kalkbrenner sits out. Brown follows with a minute to go in the third period. All the points in this match were scored in the first period. Kalkbrenner comes to his feet. Brown again fouls after on the ankle. Brown breaks Kalkbrenner flat, but he's just not been able to do anything that's come close to scoring him any back points. He's going to have to move. And a warning for stalling on Kalkbrenner with 35 seconds to go.
.20 seconds now. Another stalling call against Brown, against Kalkbrenner. Gives a point to Brown. 7-3 now with 10 seconds left to go. And that's how this match is going to end. 7-3 is your score. Your 160-pound Class 1A state champion from Lena Winslow, Quincy Kalkbrenner, who improves his record 41-2.
From Lena Winslow, and now a two-time champion.
And with your 160-pound Class A state champion, Quincy Kalkbrenner. Quincy, workman-like performance. Was that your plan going in to slug it out with him?
I wasn't going down, you know. Even if I was down, I was going 100% the entire time. I was not going to go down with no energy left.
The turn in the first period was the key, it seemed to be. You got ahead of him, and he had to fight back, and you just kind of slugged it out with him.
Yeah, you know, I was a little risky, you know, he was strong. Yeah, I got the turn. I was going to stick with the backs. If I could get the pin, you know, going for it. But, you know, I figured I have the lead, play it safe while, and not use my stuff until I need it.
Great job. Two-time state champ.
Yes, sir.
Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This isn't a game. There's no playbook. This is a battle.
We're going to have a senior from Sterling Newman Central Catholic with a 38-1 record, Bryce Ivy, going up against a sophomore from Bishop McNamara with a 27-0 record, Kyle Batorni.
Batorni was third as a freshman at 152 pounds. He's ranked number 1 by Illinois Mat Men. He's wrestling the number 2 ranked wrestler, Ivy, who was a state qualifier a year ago at 152. It's not often you see sophomores up at 170 pounds that are able to be as good as Batorni has been this year and even last year. An impressive wrestler for Bishop McNamara.
Devontae Mahomes.
This is one of those matchups where we have history with both teams. You know, Sterling Newman, like we had mentioned before, with Jake Snows being the 34th state champion for Newman, 15th year in a row, you know, that type of thing. Bishop McNamara is no slouch in that state champion category either.
It seems like they often have a couple guys down here who are competing for state championships, just like Sterling Newman. You're right. They haven't competed on the dual team level, but they always seem to have an individual here or there that's able to bring home a state title or come awfully close to it.
.30 seconds left to go in the first period. Scoreless here. Bitorni of Bishop McNamara in the green singlet. Ivy of Sterling Newman in the traditional Newman Catholic singlet, navy blue and silver. At one time, they had a championship singlet that resembled the New York Yankees. The white with the blue pinstripes. It was kind of neat looking and, you know, resembled the New York Yankees franchise as a whole, you know, with Newman.
Bishop Mack had one too that was a lot different than the one that Bitorni's wearing out there. I would imagine that the wrestlers probably get a choice of what one they want to wear.
I'm sure at that point, yeah.
Ivy's choice to start the second. He goes on bottom. Ivy comes to his feet. Bitorni brings him back down to the mat. They go out of bounds. Neither wrestler has had an unbelievably close match as Bitorni almost gets back points. Bitorni won his semifinal match 6-2, Ivy 7-2. Those were their closest matches in the tournament.
Bitorni doing a great job so far riding Ivy.
Bitorni looking for a cradle. He's got it locked.
He does have it locked. See if he can do anything with it. Ivy trying to hip into him. Ends up coming around and gets a reversal. They go out of bounds. Nice job by Ivy there, breaking the hands and getting around on Bitorni. So he leads 2-0 right now.
Bitorni had that locked up. It looked like he was going to be able to put Ivy in some trouble, but like you said, Ivy able to break it and then able to scramble and get the reversal. Ivy now has Bitorni broken down flat towards the center of the mat. 45 seconds now to go in the second period. Bishop Mack coaches, trying to encourage Bitorni to get an escape here. It's an important 30 seconds in this match. It'll be Bitorni's choice in the third period. Bitorni trying to roll, trying to move. But Ivy doing a good job following behind. Now has Bitorni broken down, and he's going to be able to ride him out here to end the second period. So Bryce Ivy of Sterling Newman leads 2-0 as we head into the third. Now Bitorni, you got to wonder what he's going to choose. For 45 seconds or a minute there, he got ridden. And so he looks at his coaches and says, what do I do here?
Goes down.
Bitorni tries a switch right off the whistle. Ivy does a good job crowding him. Bitorni still has got the leg on Ivy's. Unable to scramble. Ivy does a good job grabbing onto Bitorni's far leg and just keeps crowding. But Bitorni's not able to go anywhere. Ivy's still doing a good job staying behind Bitorni. Turney again tries a roll, not able to get anything out of it yet. A tuck roll, and Turney may come out with a reverse here.
He does.
Wow. Well, 2-2 is the score a minute to go in this match. Turney on top. And looking for the tilt. Turney gets 1 count, gets 2. There it is. Kyle Turney of Bishop Mack has at least a 2 count. Looked like he was going to be in trouble, but thankfully he had wrist control. And Turney able to get the back points. So he's going to have a 4-2 lead, 30 seconds to go. Looking for more back points. And Ivy looking to roll through, almost pulled it off.
They had a headlock.
2 back points, 15 seconds to go. Ivy's going to have to move quick. He tries to roll through, but Turney catches him, and I think gets 2 more. He does. 2 more back points. So 6-2, trailing coming into the 3rd period. Kyle Turney of Bishop Mack, your state champion at 170 pounds, Class 1A. 6-2 your final. He trailed 2-0 coming into the 3rd period. Gets a reversal, then scores back points 2 separate times. 6-2 the final.
He's a sophomore, so he'll definitely be back the next couple of years.
We have your 170-pound state champion, Kyle Turney, sophomore from Kankakee McNamara. Great match. Were you waiting him out there in that 3rd period? You kind of made it exciting.
No, not really. He was just good at holding down. Finally waited for an opportunity and took it.
Got some back points. That helped seal the victory. Nice tilts. Is that what your go-to is?
No. Just I knew he was tired, and most tired dudes can't stop that.
Congratulations, Kyle. Good match.
Thank you.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Both of these guys are explosive, and it's not over. This is going to be a great match.
We go with the 182-pound Class 1A state championship, our last bout of the evening. We're going to have a senior with a record of 40 wins, 0 losses from Monticello, Brendan Miniature. He's going to be wrestling a senior from Winnebago with a record of 35-1, Sean Ward.
Menacker, a year ago, a state qualifier at this weight. Ward, a state qualifier at 170 pounds last year. Menacker ranked 1st by Illinois Men. Ward ranked 2nd. So another matchup against the 1 and 2 ranked guys in the weight class. We've had quite a few of those tonight. It's very fitting we end on one of those.
With a record of 43-4, Christian Brunner. His opponent, a senior from Deerfield, with a record of 46-1, Colton Emmerich.
Both men just tying up here on the edge of the mat. 50 seconds into the 1st period. They'll step out of bounds. Ray Epperson, our official here from Yorkville.
With all 170-pound place winners, please report to the awards area.
Ward tries to lock up. They go out of bounds. Ward has quite a height advantage against Menacker. Nice shot by Menacker. Can he finish it? He locks up around Ward. Ward
Nice
just
job.
really strong, able to fight it off. And we're neutral like we were before. Menacker got in deep on a shot. It looked like he was going to be able to finish it. Tried to body lock. Ward able to scramble, counter it, not give up any points. Under 10 now to go in the first period. No score. We started at 195 this evening, so this is our last match of the night. First period comes to an end. No score. Menacher of Monticello, Ward of Winnebago. Menacher's choice. He goes bottom. Looks like he started too quick. He did. Caution. Menacher comes to his feet. Ward brings him back down to the mat. Menacher tries a tuck roll. Ends up with a single leg of Ward. Looking for an escape, and he's going to get it. So they go out of bounds. 20 seconds in, Brendan Menacher leads 1-0 over Sean Ward of Winnebago. Menacher in on a shot. Ward looking for an upper body throw. Neither of those moves work out.
Ward is a Greco wrestler, so you look for him to see to go upper body here.
All 170-pound place winners need to be
Menacher tries to go in on a shot. Ward fights it off. Now has a near side cradle. Can Ward score points off this? He's got a takedown. Can he keep Menacher on the mat? So 2-1 lead. He's still got the cradle locked up. The question is, can he keep Menacher on the mat? Ward's trying to do that. Readjusts, and it looks like Ward's going to be able to keep Menacher on the mat. Can he get the fall? There it is! Sean Ward of Winnebago with the fall. 2 minutes and 17 seconds into the match. Sean Ward of Winnebago locks up the cradle, able to adjust accordingly so that he's able to keep Menacher's shoulders on the mat, and he gets the fall. So Sean Ward of Winnebago finishes off his senior year 36-1 and a state champion.
One last time, Thad, let's send it down to our partner in crime of the evening, Terry Glaudel. Terry's with our champ.
I'm with your 182-pound Class A state champion, Sean Ward. Sean, great match. Way to finish strong. Looks like you started out a little slow, kind of feeling him out in the first period.
Yeah, I was just kind of trying to size him up. I know he's a good wrestler, so I need to know what he's able to do, and that's what I did the first period. And he got me on an escape in the second period, but I knew I could come back and fight through it.
Well, you jumped on that cradle when it was there. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it coming the whole time. He shot at me earlier in the first period, and it was open. I just couldn't hold my grip, but he did it again, so I figured I got to go for it.
You pulled him back on the mat and sealed the deal.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. I had a feeling, I had that cradle was going out of bounds. I was getting a little scared. I had to pull him back in and pin him, get it done.
Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy yourself, bud.
The Illinois Wrestling Coaches and Officials Association is the professional organization for wrestling coaches and officials in the state of Illinois. The IWCOA recognizes the accomplishments of groups and individuals at their annual All-State and Hall of Fame banquets, as well as sponsors the Fresh Off State Tournament Series, the Midwest Nationals Wrestling Tournament, and the Illinois-Indiana All-Star Duels, which take place this coming Sunday, March 16th at Hinsdale South High School. To learn more about the IWCOA and their membership benefits, visit iwcoa.illinoismatmen.com.
They had another tournament in the books, another great run tournament by the IHSA. Did a great job this weekend.
We really enjoyed it. It was fun to be down here, to be mat side for the state finals. A lot of energy in this place. I look forward to next weekend and look forward to more wrestling as we go on.
So from the State Farm Center in Champaign-Urbana, thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Have a good one.